This movie, its writers and director, even its actors listen to the criticism from the hardcore fan base. Someone better go check and see if hell just froze over.
Let me tie my hair up so I can get ready for Mortal Kombat. Maybe I'll do my nails after.
If you haven't seen Mortal Kombat 2 yet, you might want to save this video to the Watch Later playlist. It massively spoils the movie. You've been warned. Mortal Kombat has been a pop culture phenomenon ever since it debuted in 1992 as a video game that literally changed the industry. It didn't take long for Hollywood to notice this success. Just 3 years later, the first Mortal Kombat film was released in 1995, the first video game movie to see success at the box office and from critics. Multiple spin-offs and sequels later, Warner Brothers rebooted the franchise with the release of 2021's Mortal Kombat. Given that it was released in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously during the pandemic when folks weren't going to the theaters, the film saw enough success that a sequel was greenlit. The 2021 reboot strayed from the source material a lot. As a diehard MK fan, it pissed me off, but it did get some things right. The violence and action were there. Some of the casting choices were excellent. Some, not so much.
Thank you for helping my fighter find his arcana.
Huh?
Other gods are forbidden from engaging in one realm's war against another.
Huh? What?
As the years passed, I appreciated the 2021 film a little more. Mistakes were made, but the studio and director actually listened to the fans and addressed some of their biggest mistakes. All studios want to make money, believe it or not, even with all the studio mandates and modern Hollywood nonsense. Somehow, they actually pulled off a watchable film. Not just watchable, it's actually a fun movie that, just like its predecessor, has great action. The violence seems like it's not as prevalent, but it's still there. Karl Urban was a good over-the-hill Johnny Cage. Initially, some fans had concerns for this casting, and for good reason, but we have seen an older Johnny Cage in the games, so why would it not work here? Some of his jokes didn't land for me, but that's not his fault. Overall, he turned in a great performance. There were several plot twists in the movie. Some I enjoyed a lot, and some didn't really land so well. The plot twists were Baraka, instead of serving as a villain like he usually always is in the games and previous movies, helps the heroes reach Outworld through Tarkatan, was fun and worked really well in the movie. And the moments with Johnny and Baraka were comedic gold. I think all the Mortal Kombat fans were expecting Cole Young to die early, especially when it was revealed that his first opponent in this film would be Shao Kahn, but I definitely didn't see Jax or Liu Kang dying in this movie. One can make the argument that death doesn't really mean anything in this universe, but that's a whole nother debate for another time. Will we see a returning Revenant Liu Kang in the sequel? If we get a sequel. What about Jax? Why didn't any female protagonists die? Kano did a 180 and became a hero? Or maybe an anti-hero? His selfishness didn't allow him to remain aligned with Outworld, something we've never seen in the games. Did I mind this departure from the source material? No, because it still fits the character of Kano. Speaking of Kano, why didn't they finally give him his metal eye in this movie? Why go through the trouble of having Quan give him a whole new eyeball? Even though that scene was pretty funny, it was still a missed opportunity. The biggest plot twist has to be Kitana beating Shao Kahn and saving Earthrealm. When this first happened, I was thinking, oh great, another girl boss ending. But then I stewed on it a little longer. If they wanted a girl boss to defeat Shao Kahn at the end of the film, she was probably the best choice. They set up her origin nicely at the beginning of the film to make that ending really hit home, in, dare I say, an emotional way.
Ha! Gay!
And it was nice to see someone else save the world whose name wasn't Cole Young or Liu Kang. Would it have been better to see Liu Kang win at the end? Maybe. But the point I'm trying to make here is this. We as fans can't say that studio mandates ruined the movie. They managed those hurdles nicely, and it made sense given the plot in the beginning of the film. I'm probably going to butcher this name, but Tadano Asano is a great actor who's been in multiple films and shows. He's great in Shogun. He seems like a cool guy that would be fun to have beers with. However, he is not a good Raiden. Ignoring the fact that Raiden was always white in both the games and the films, he serves as the exposition machine for these movies. A lot more so in the first film. You can't understand a thing this guy says.
Huh? What?
His accent is stronger than a bull that just got thumped in the balls. And he does not look like Raiden. He's not imposing in the least. His casting still bothers me. Remember when Johnny Cage mistakes him for a cosplaying nerd? I can't blame him for that. Here's another petty gripe. The actress that plays Jade, Tati Gabrielle, she's so beautiful. Why did they make the decision to shave her head bald in this movie? Why not give her the same hairstyle she has in the game? She did a great job in the role, but every time I saw her on screen, I couldn't help but wonder that. Adeline Rudolph was honestly fantastic as Kitana. She looked the part and pulled on my heartstrings multiple times during the movie. Best new character in the movie by a mile. Was I the only one that found Shao Kahn's British accent to be a little weird? Martin Ford definitely had the build for Shao Kahn, which probably could have been accomplished with a big rubber suit given how much of his body was concealed throughout the film. But maybe since his face was covered, they could have let somebody else do the voiceover work?
You weak, pathetic fool! Bow to me. Shao Kahn wins.
Quan Chi and Noob Saibot both make their Mortal Kombat movie debuts here. Quan Chi didn't look as cool as he does in the games, and really didn't serve the story that much. But I have a feeling we'll see more of him in future films. Joe Taslim is defeated again, not as Sub-Zero this time, but Noob Saibot. Yeah, saying that out loud sounds really lame. I understand why they just called him Bihan in the movie. It was cool to see him come back though. He might have been one of the best parts about the 2021 reboot. And unlike Martin Ford as Shao Kahn, it really is a shame that Joe Taslim's face was covered up because he is great at showing emotion and conveying that evilness that he did in the first film. Shang Tsung also didn't have a large role in this film, but just like Quan Chi, I have a feeling that he will return with a larger role to play in the future. While we're talking about the shorter appearances from new characters, Sindel also pops up for a hot second. I wasn't a huge fan of this casting or the look of the character. I also wanted to see a little bit more of her story since she plays such a pivotal role in the Shao Kahn taking over Adenia's story arc. We could have gotten more from her. We did get to see her powers though in that Sonya Spike Pit fight, and they look pretty good. But later in the film they have her dressed up in this BDSM mask, and she's used by Shao Kahn to get information from Kitana, but us as an audience didn't really feel like we had gotten enough from Sindel to care that much about her. I guess it could have been worse.
You're alive. Too bad you will die.
Now, moment of truth. If I had to rate this film on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being terrible, unwatchable, I never want to see it again, and 10 being perfect in every way possible, right now it's probably going to land somewhere around a 7.5. I'm notorious for giving movies higher ratings when they first come out, especially movies that I'm very biased about, like Mortal Kombat, Marvel, and DC. Ask me again in a year if I still feel the same about it. I love Mortal Kombat. It's the one lore I know and love more than Marvel and DC. I hope that this movie can be successful enough in theaters to get a sequel. From what they say in the behind the scenes footage, the director, Simon McQuaid, and the writing team leaned a little more on the genius, outspoken creator of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon. Maybe that will be a good move going forward. The guy might know what he's talking about. I mean, he's put out a few video games that are pretty awesome, but he has truly crafted an excellent lore, excellent story that gave birth to all of this. And like I said earlier, it's crazy how much it pays off to listen to the fan base. Maybe Marvel and Star Wars can learn a thing from this movie. Yeah, probably not. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching the video. If you like this type of content, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, and we're also in podcast format. Until next time, have a good one.